All right, Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Makakodash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth, and Shalom to the hopeful elect, the Akim and Akwaf that have returned to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right. In this live, you know, we'll entitle it Order Out of Chaos is Being Prepared. All right. And we're going to touch on a little bit of news, okay, a little bit of prophecy, per usual, because at the forefront of this message is prophecy, pursuant to Revelations, the 19th chapter, right? And I believe it's the 10th verse, right? The testimony of our Lord is the spirit of prophecy, right? That energy and that vibration is, what is at the forefront of the ministry. And is really a continuation of the ministry of Yahweh Shai himself, right? Because really the magnitude of this moment, the magnitude of these times that we're in right now really can't be understated. So it's a preparation, mentally, that's taking place as we enter into the the most tribulous times in human history, right? There's a reason why the scriptures talk about, all right, girding up the loins of your mind, right? There's a reason why the scriptures tell us these particular things, right? And these times that we're entering into, um, ultimately we know it's being orchestrated by the Heavenly Father himself through Yahweh Shai. All right. But Esau Edom, this is really his last feeble attempt, all right, to secure his rulership here on the planet Earth. Right. And what he's going to do is he's about to cause absolute chaos and mayhem here in America so that he can institute order, right? So he can roll out the MOTB, in which a large majority of our people are going to take, you know. But as being watchmen, and matter of fact, we can start there. Baba Kashak, could you pull up I believe it's Habakkuk 2. Could you pull up just Habakkuk 2 and we'll start there, Baba Kashak.
This Habakkuk 2 and 1, it says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower. I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved.
Khan. And Baba Kashak, could you get that word watch, right? Because again, we have been commissioned, if you will, to be watchmen, right? Like if you've seen Game of Thrones, if you will, you had the men, all right, of the Night's Watch, all right, who were banished, to the northern part of the Seven Kingdoms. If you've seen Game of Thrones, all right, their sole duty, of existence was to watch and to warn the nations, of danger, right? And then where we are in that stead, you know. And a matter of fact, when you read that verse, it says, "I will stand upon my watch," right? Because again, when you consider, a watchtower is a elevated, stage. It's an elevated position, you know. And like they say in the world, with great power comes great responsibility, right? So because we have the ability, to understand these scriptures, right, to perceive this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, with that comes a responsibility to warn the people, and get the blood off of our hands. You got it, bro.
This word watch, it's a Masha Marath. Masha Marath says guard, charge, function, obligation, a service or watch, a keeping, preserving, house of detention or confinement,
Mm.
an office, a function, Safe, figuratively, observance, abstractly, duty, to duty, or a usage or party, charge, keep, or to be kept, an offense, an office, ordinance, safeguard, award, or watch.
Ordinance. All right. Duty. All right. This is an ordinance of Yahweh Shem Shai. Ultimately, this was already, ordained going back to the foundations of the earth that there will be particular men in these times that would, rise up, and warn, the nation of Israel. Right. But ultimately, we know only the elect of the nation of Israel are actually going to believe on this report. All right. And make the necessary adjustments. Right. Prepare for what's coming. Do you have more?
Yeah, that word, it says a house of detention, confinement, and it makes me think of, being a good soldier, right? Because that word soldier goes into being solitude, right? And this is really you know, like the job essence is to be awake, to if you feel no matter how bad you want to fall asleep, you gotta, until that duty, until it's your time, you out with a fellow soldier, y'all take turns taking breaks, napping, so that takes a lot of discipline, so it's a certain confinement, certain, you got to hold certain things, together when you out there.
Mm-hmm. Con. It makes me think of I believe it's Proverbs 22:3, right? For a wise man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself.
Hmm.
Right. That's that. That's the result of a watchman. Right. We're given this message so that those who fear Yahweh Shem Shai, right, are going to move accordingly.
Yeah, custody, guard, the act of guarding.
Mhm.
So let me go back to the verse. I'll read it again. It says, Habakkuk 2:1, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord said unto me, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it.
Right. Write the vision and make it plain upon tables. Right. When you're a watchman, all right, and you foresee the evil that's coming, when you're relaying that message, all right, to the people, you're not relaying a complicated, all right, confusing message. No, it's very simple. All right. It makes me think of American history, how they used to teach us who was it, Paul Revere, when America went to war with the British, right? The British are coming, right? Because they're about to go to war with the redcoats, is what they were called. Right. Paul Revere, if you will, wasn't given an elaborate breakdown. No, he was telling the people, get your shit, right? Because death is coming. A lot of y'all about to die. That's the same message that we have, right? Yeah, how about Shem Shai is getting ready, to really open up, on your people, on these people. That's why the scriptures talk about, our message containing lamentations, mournings, and woe. Right? That's the simplicity, if you will, of Hamashiach. Right? You got it. Bible Shah, could you read verse 2 again?
God. This Habakkuk 2:2, it says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it.
Mm-hmm.
For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry.
Right. Again, man, this is a warning, man. This is a warning, right? We're not just doing this just for shits and giggles, man. Case in point, if somebody's walking down the middle of the street and a car is coming, right, and you tell them to get out of the way, all right, it's a plain message. All right, it's a plain message. Get out of the way. And immediately following that warning, you're gonna see clearly that there was a car coming 100 miles down the road about to kill your ass, man. All right, and that's what Jake doesn't understand. Jake thinks that this is a pissing contest. All right, Jake thinks that the Lord, rose up his prophets, all right, to seek out vainglory, all right, and the approval of men. That's not why Yahweh Shem Yahushua rose us up. He rose us up to warn you. All right. And we're getting ready to find out exactly what we're, because we've been reading about the prophecies, right? These prophecies have been popping off the pages as the elders say. But it's one thing to read about these prophecies, and it's one thing to actually live through these prophecies. Right. We're getting ready to have to actually witness and live through these prophecies, all right, in real time. But that's all I wanted on that. If y'all didn't have anything, we could jump into whatever the article.
I got a quick one for you real fast.
Done.
This is Revelation chapter 1, and I'm gonna get verse 3. You see me go to it real quick, Salakia. All right, here we go right here. And it reads, "Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things that are written therein, for the time is at hand." So I guess ultimately, Lord has the message that trumpet being blown. Now, back in ancient times, if there was going to be a new king being set up, if there was going to be war, there would be men that was set up to blow the trumpet to give like an announcement to show that it's going to happen. So now the Lord has his prophets giving out that message of the prophecies, and it said, as Habakkuk said, that you may run that read. It means you got to take action. You see, and if you don't take action, that'll lead to your demise. You'll be destroyed. And that's basically what it's saying. It says you got to keep those things that are written, because the words, the prophecies are being spewed out through the prophets.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Make me think about Noah, right? When the Lord revealed to Noah what was getting ready to take place on the planet Earth, Noah started running, man. Noah started doing, right? He was all about action, right? He just didn't sit back, all right, and wait for the prophecy to come to pass. All right. Ultimately, he immediately began that warning, and he began that preparation process, the process of building the ark. And it's the same thing that's happening in these times. All right. We see what's coming. All right. And we're preparing the ark through the spirit, right? So that we can get on when the rain starts dropping. All right. Because there's going to come a point in time when that rain begins, when destruction comes. All right. And at that point, we're going to enter into, that refuge, if you will, and you people are going to be caught out there. Y'all got it.
Salaki, I got one more, Salaki. This is Ezekiel 33, and I'm gonna get verse 2 and read down to verse 6. It says, "Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon the land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him up for a watchman, if when he see the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn his people, which Yahweh Shah set up watchmen, which are the prophets." But it said this is going into the job of watchman. He's supposed to blow a trumpet. But we're gonna read it. It says, verse 3: "If when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and take it not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head." So the sword goes into like an instrument to destroy. And the Lord actually applied to a person, being Esau Edom, as being that instrument to destroy. So this man is going to come down on a lot of our people by way of what? Martial law. He's going to have that. That's his blessing. That's how he got everything he got, by the sword. So it's going to be a lot of destruction being reaped, and they're being warned by the men of the Lord, but nobody's taking heed. So when the adversity comes, that's when everybody, all that pride and all these spirits people have on them is going to be gone. And they're going to be they're going to be in that spirit of repentance at that point, but it's too late. But I had two more. I'll read two more on it. It says,
That's the spirit. That's the spirit. If I can add, bro, that's the spirit. Because, like you said, bro, Esau is that proverbial sword. All right, of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's why when you read Genesis, what is it? Genesis 27,
Okay.
right? And Esau receives his blessing. All right, that's a major point in that's prophecy, right? That is a major verse, right? When it goes into, Esau receiving that blessing of a sword, because Esau is the agent of chaos, all right, here on the planet Earth. He is chaos. He is death and destruction. That's what he was created to do. All right. And we're coming into a time where he's been backed into a corner, if you will, by prophecy. All right. By us waking up. Right. And Esau is getting ready to wild out. He's getting ready to give his last, hoorah, if you will. And that's what we're getting ready to see. We're getting ready to see the creature, if you will, that was created to destroy, really be let loose on the planet Earth. That's why the times that we're coming into are labeled as the worst times in human history, pursuant to Daniel 12, right? And that sword is Esau, like the brother said. Y'all got it.
God, I just had two more. It says, verse 5, he heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning. His blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. So if you take heed into the message, because at the end of the day, the Heavenly Father is having the prophets teach out that message of what? Bidding people to the marriage. The marriage is when we're joined back with Yahushua. That's ultimately, that's what the gospel, that's the good news is. Yahushua is returning. He's going to set up his kingdom. But if you don't want to join in that marriage, then you're going to be destroyed. But it says, verse 6, it says right here, but if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away from his iniquity. It says, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hands. So even if the watchman doesn't give the warning, the sword is still going to destroy you people who don't take heed. Because a lot of people are following certain camps, and they're not the watchmen are not blowing the sword. But at the end of the day, we're giving you the warning that even if the people that you are looking at as a watchman don't tell you, you still will be destroyed. You see, yep. So that's what's getting ready to happen. The Lord is going to bring mass destruction by way of Esau Edom. And if you aren't taking heed into the true message, then you're going to be destroyed, man. Y'all got it.
Con, that's it. That's it, bro. And a matter of fact, could you hold that's the spirit, man, because again, bro, we're getting ready to see all these prophecies come to pass. And one of the prophecies that the Lord said, all right, is that judgment was going to begin at the house of the Lord, pursuing the 1 Peter, all right, 4, and I believe it's 17. Baba Kashaka, we pull that real quick, right? Because like the brother said, right, it's never been more obvious that shit is finna go left. Shit is about to get real, in the field, as they say in the world. But here it is. You have these puffed up guys in Israel. You have these proud guys, all right, that think that this grace period is about, all right, feeding their own ego, all right, and vainglory. Well, guess what? Yahweh Shem Yahushai, all right, has has something for you, right? Severe judgment is what he has for you, all right. And as we begin to see these things unfold on the planet Earth, all right, you wicked niggas that have been out here, leading the people astray, all right, holding back, your sword, not preaching the whole truth, or not warning people. Y'all are gonna be dealt with, man. So, Baba Gashah, could we pull 1 Peter 4 on the screen, Baba Gashah?
Kind. Oh. It's 1 Peter 4 and 17. It says, for the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh. And if it begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God?
Mm-hmm. So judgment is going to begin, all right, with those Jakes, right, with Israel, right, with those who know that they're Israelites, right? And really, like the scriptures say, it would have been better, all right, for you to just be a 2/3 nigga than it is for you to come across the truth, all right, and take the truth and use it for your own belly, right? Because as we see these so-called leaders in Israel, all right, are waxing worse and worse, all right. And again, as we see these things take place, they're going to be the main ones, all right, getting jacked up out here, right? Because this prophecy has to come to pass. You got it.
Kind. Verse 18, and if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?
Mhm.
Wherefore, let them that suffer according to the will of Yahweh commit the keeping of their souls to him in well doing, as unto a faithful creator.
Right, and that's what we have been ordained to do on the side, to suffer. All right, to suffer. That is the ministry right now. The ministry right now is not, all right, us shining and looking good in front of the people and, getting all the women, getting the, handshakes and hugs. That's not the ministry on this side, right? Lord's will, all right, we're preserved from the said perils, all right, and we can enter into that by being joint heirs with Yahweh Hamashiach, but he has to receive his glory first, right? The last time the Lord was on the planet Earth, the Lord was hated. All right, they didn't love Yahweh Shai, man. So what makes you guys think that this go around, Yahweh Shai hasn't even gotten his glory yet, and we're supposed to be at the forefront, in these times? And it shows you that these guys don't have the spirit. The Most High is not dealing with them, because anybody, all right, with eyes to see and ears to hear, should be able to, read the room, if you will. Right, the apostles and elders have been saying that a lot. Extrapolating, right? You got to be able to extrapolate and read the room. This is not the time for vainglory right now. And a matter of fact, really, you're lining yourself up for severe judgment from Yahweh Shah himself. Y'all got it. Oh, matter of fact, Slakia, real quick, could we pull up? And I know I'm all over the place. Slakia, could we get Micah 3 and 5 real quick? And then after that, we can jump into the article. Slakia, brothers.
Kind, you all good? It's this Micah 3 and 5. It says, thus save Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai concerning the prophets that make my people err, that bite with their teeth and cry, peace, and he that putteth not into their mouths, and they even prepare war against him.
Right. So again, dealing with these false prophets, right? Because the Lord in these times has raised up true prophets, all right, for the elect, for the 1/3, and he's raised up false prophets, all right, to weed out the undesirables, right? But even though, all right, a false prophet ultimately was ordained to be in that lot, okay, he's still going to have to pay for the things that he's doing. That's why it's so important to fear Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. The Lord can design you and fashion your spirit in a way, all right, and in your mind in a way to make you do what you're doing, and you still gonna get judged for it, right? That's why it's so important to fear Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, all right, and to pray. You got it, bro. You can go down to verse. You can go down to verse 8.
Okay. It says, therefore, night shall be unto you, that ye shall not have a vision, and it shall be dark unto you, that ye shall not divine.
Right, because as again, you guys are gonna be absolutely confused and confounded. All right, when these prophecies begin to take place, all right, exactly how the apostles and elders said they were going to take place. What are you going to say? What are y'all going to say to your congregations or to your followers when the MOTB is actually on the scene? All right, and it's a physical implant. What are y'all going to do when Jacob's trouble, all right, really pops off. You know, y'all gonna be y'all gonna look crazy. All right, and people and your followers are gonna know, all right, that you ultimately were false prophets. You know, you got it.
Con, if I could bring up a point, cause
Kind.
man, y'all brothers been in the spirit, man. Cause I just want to share this. We read that Jeremiah 33, and I pulled that word warning, and I was going to disregard it, but it kind of came back around. It's Zahar, right? And it says to admonish, warn, teach, shine, and send out light. And really, when you think of the light, it's really pushing Yahweh Shai. You know, and these other camps, man, they don't really be pushing Yahweh Shai, right? They don't say the name. They don't want to get into his walk. They want to disregard the miracles. You know, pretty much disregarding Yahweh Shai, and at its utmost, it's not putting the emphasis on prophecy. So, you know what we just read, how they're going to have no vision, and it said, and it shall be dark unto you. Right? They're going to be left out in the dark. But I'll read verse 6 again. It says, therefore night shall be unto you, that ye shall not have a vision, and this shall be dark unto you, that ye shall not divine, and the sun shall go down over the prophets, and the day shall be dark over them.
Right, like the brother said, man. Meaning, y'all are not gonna know what the hell is going on. Right, y'all are gonna be absolutely confused and confounded when these things begin to take place on planet Earth. You got it.
And it says, verse 7, then shall the seers be ashamed, and the diviners confounded. Yeah, they shall all cover their lips, for there is no answer of Yahweh.
Hmm. And that's the spirit, because when you read, when you go into the story of Micah, right, who lived during the time of Jehoshaphat and King Ahaz, all right, Ahaz of the northern kingdom, Jehoshaphat of the southern kingdom. You know, when you go into his ministry, all right, he was one of the few prophets of his time, all right, who was actually prophesying what was really going to happen, right? Because you had King Ahaz and all his prophets who were false prophets, all right, who were whispering sweet nothings to him, all right, which is ultimately why he ended up getting put to death, right? Because when you go into the, I believe it's 1 Kings 22, but when you go into the story, King Ahaz's prophets convinced him to go out to war by saying that the Lord was going to be with him. However, the Lord had mingled a lying spirit amongst his prophets the whole time. So the Lord was intentionally leading him astray so that he could put him to death. And it's the same exact things in these times. The Lord has mingled a lying spirit amongst these camps. All right. I'm not going to get into names, right? That's not, my lot. But y'all know who we're talking about, right? The Lord has mingled a lying spirit within these camps, because the Yahweh Shem Shot, really, I mean, he wants to put a lot of Jake to death, man. There's no nice way to tell people that. All right, that's the power that we serve, right? And a matter of fact, I'll just quote it, right? Deuteronomy 32 and 39, right? The Lord killeth, right? The Lord kills, man. All right, there's no sweet breakdown to a lot of these scriptures, man. It just is what it is. You got it. Could you read verse 8, and then we'll jump into the article.
God, this is Micah 3 and 8. It says, but truly I am full of power by the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and of judgment, and of might, to declare unto Jacob his transgression, and to Israel his sin.
Right, because it takes power to really prophesy in its fullness. It takes power to really tell Jake the truth to their damn face, right? Because you're gonna catch hell for it, right? That's why the Lord, I believe it's what was Ezekiel, right? Where the Lord told him to make his face hard against Israel, right? Because Israel is stiff necked as hell, man, and you're gonna catch absolute hell telling Jake the truth, and that's the time that we're coming in, you know. If we're truly men of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we're getting ready to catch absolute hell, right? But it takes power to do what we're doing, and then it's going to take power to endure, all right, the suffering and the persecution that we're getting ready to endure as well, right? But again, that's there's beauty in that. That's where we're going to be proven. That's where we're going to be tried. That's how we're going to earn our crown. But y'all got it. Y'all got it.
Yep. Hop to the article. Now this is from Blacklisted News. It says danger within. The government is turning America into a constitution-free zone. And here's the source. If y'all think we lying. All right. It says there are more instances of the abridgment of freedom of the people by gradual and silent encroachments of those in power than by violent and sudden usurpations. James Madison. How far would you really go to secure the nation's border in the so-called name of national security? Would you give the government limitless amount of money, surround the entire country with concrete walls and barbed wire, erect high-tech virtual wall of AI-powered surveillance cameras and drones that does a better job of imprisoning those within its boundaries than keeping intruders out, empower border police to trample on the rights of anyone who crosses their path, including legal citizens, relinquish some of your freedoms in exchange for the elusive promise of non-porous borders. Get that word. Non-penetrative. Right. Pretty much you can't penetrate it. Non-penetrative borders, or submit to a national ID card that allows the government to target individuals and groups as it chooses in order to identify those who do not, quote, belong, turn a blind eye to private prisons and detainment camps that profit off the forced labor of its detainees. Would you turn your backs on every constitutional principle of which our founders fought and died in exchange for an empty campaign promise of elusive safety by fast-talking politicians? This is the devil's bargain that the U.S. government demands of its people.
Ooh, man, can you grab that word bargain real quick? Because again, this article is starting off with hypothetical questions, right? A hypothetical question, right? It's asking you, or it's asking, what are Americans willing to give up, all right, to receive order, to receive safety, all right, to receive, normalcy, right? Because as the title of the live suggests, right, or proclaims, order out of chaos is being prepared, right? And what we see with the border crisis, what we see with the intentional destruction of the monetary system, right? The intentional destruction of the food system, right? All these things are being done purposely so that chaos can reign on the planet Earth for a particular period of time. And after that period of time is up, order is going to be established, and that order is going to revolve around Revelations 13 and 16. It's going to be a new system that is introduced by Esau Edom. You got it.
This word bargain, it says, this is etymology online. It says business transaction or agreement, negotiations, dealings, also that which is required by bargaining.
A business transaction. That's exactly what the MOTB is. It is a transaction, right? Because when you go into that word transaction, A transaction is basically an exchange, right? Meaning I'm going to give you something, you're going to give me something. And that's what the scriptures are warning us about. The scriptures are warning us about a business transaction, if you will, right? Between the inhabitants of the planet Earth and Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, right? In order to receive, all right, normalcy, all right, a little bit of comfort and convenience, you're going to have to take the MOTB. That's a transaction. That's a agreement, a covenant. You know, you got it.
I got something for you real quick. This Sirach 27:1. It says, "Many have sinned for a small matter, and he that seeketh for abundance will turn his eyes away."
Right, because you already have people that have taken the MOTB on the planet Earth. All right, and they did it for no reason. They did it so that they can get to their job, so that they can unlock the door to their office. All right, and save 2 minutes. Right, or for some other minute reason. You already have people on the planet Earth that have the MOTB. So what do you think people are going to do when all hell breaks loose and they're starving? They're going to turn their eyes away, like we're reading in this verse. You got it.
Verse 2. As a nail sticketh fast between the joinings of the stones, so doeth sin stick close between buying and selling.
Yep. And again, man, that this right here, this proves, man, these guys don't know what the hell they're talking about. Because anybody with two brain cells to rub together can figure out that if you want to control the world, you have to do it with money, right? You have to do it with the thing that everybody, uses. What how can I say this? You consider, the planet Earth, all the different nations and cultures and, people. All right, what's one way in which you can enslave all those people? Right? Control their access to goods and services, control their money. All right. And this is what the elders and apostles have been screaming from the rooftops for the last 30 years. All right. But you bonehead niggas are still out here pushing wayward doctrines, talking about the MOTB is an embargo. Right? You got it, bro. You got it.
Verse 3. It says, "Unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, his house shall soon be overthrown."
Man, that's it, bro. That's it. Only the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the fear of being burned alive by a thermonuclear missile, only that is going to stop you from taking that thing, man. That's how bad it's about to get out here. Right? That's the importance of the fear of the Lord. What is that? Isaiah 33:6. Right? Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and the fear of the Lord his treasure. Right? That fear of the Lord is what's going to secure your crown. Right? And prevent you, all right, from making that transaction with Esau Edom, taking that MOTB. You got it, bro. The water.
All right. It says, back to the article. It says, "This is the devil's bargain that the U.S. government demands of its people. These devilish deals have been foisted upon we, the people, before. Every decade or so, the government makes the case for expanding its wartime powers and curtailing the citizens' freedom. In the war on terrorism, war on drugs, war on communism, war on foreigners, war on extremism, war on dissidents, war on peace activists, war on anti-government speech, etc., all for the sake of national security. Of course, as expected, the American people fall in line."
Man. Baba Kashad, hey, Asad, could you pull Baba Kashad, could you pull Psalms, what is it, 140? I believe it's let me see. Continually are they gathered together for war, something like that. Maybe I think it's 140. Yeah,
Nah,
140. The water, bro.
God, let's grab it real quick. All right. This is the book of Psalms 140. It's from the top. No, let me see.
Con, you got it. Yep, 1 and 2.
Got you. Okay, yep, here it is. It reads Psalms 120 from the top, and it reads, a song of decrees. In my distress, I cried unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and he heard me. Verse 2, deliver my soul, O Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, from lying lips and from a deceitful tongue.
Okay, Con, man. Okay. Con, bro. Baba Kasha, man. Could we grab that word distress, Baba Kasha in the blue letter, real quick?
Gotcha.
Right? Because it says, in my distress, I called on thee, how Bashem Yahushai.
Con, this is Strong's H6869, and it says Tazarah. It says Tazarah. And it says straits, distress, trouble.
Straits, distress, trouble. It said trouble?
Trouble.
What does that sound like? That sounds like a few different precepts, right? The straight gate, right? We have to enter into the straight gate, right? Which is a narrow, is a position of difficulty, right? What do you think the straight gate is? The straight gate is right, that hour of temptation, right? Standing stiffly while the MOTB is on the scene, right? Standing stiffly while we're being persecuted by Esau Edom, right? And then another word it mentioned, trouble. All right, Jacob's trouble. Right? What do you think through the spirit? All these prophecies, all these psalms, I mean, it's all connected. All right, it's all connected. Right? Yahweh Shai said, for lo, I come in the volume of the book. Right? And the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. But I just wanted to make that quick point. Baruch Shah, could you read?
If I may get the one of Strong's. Here goes Strong's definition. It says tightness. It says going down, adversity. It says adversary, adversity, affliction, anguish, distress, tribulation, trouble.
Man, anguish. Right? And again, right, words, these words are capturing an idea. Like the beloved brother Aina, goes into this in his Hebrew classes, right? He talks about how words, are conveying, they convey ideas, right? So these words that we're reading in the English, right? Really, these words are painting a picture for something that you actually experience, all right, here physically in the flesh. So when we read these words, anguish, all right, affliction, these words are trying to paint a picture for you people, right? And the picture is prophecy, all right? The worst times in human history. You got them a lot. Do you have some?
No, I ain't have none.
Con. Could you read Psalms 140 again, Baba Gashah? Isad?
I got you. This is the book of Psalms. You mean Psalms 120?
Or 140?
Oh, wait. I'm on 120.
Okay, Khan, that's the spirit. That's okay. It's called Tawab. Because it had mentioned in that article basically how Esau Edom is obsessed with making war on everything, right? A war on drugs, a war on terror, a war on this, a war on that. That alone, that tendency, if you will, is proof that Esau Edom is who runs America. You got it.
I got 40 now. This is Psalms 140 from the top, and it reads, to the chief musician, a psalm of David. Deliver me, O Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man. Verse
and
2.
Esau, that's Esau, right? Esau Edom is the violent man. All right, his track record speaks for himself. You got it.
Verse 2, which imagine mischiefs in their heart. Continually are they gathered together for war.
Right, and those mischiefs that they've been imagining in their heart is the New World Order, the NWO. Right, that is the ultimate end game of Esau Edom. That is his bootleg kingdom of heaven, and all these wars that he's been committing and waging on the planet Earth. All those wars were steps in the process of fulfilling that enterprise, right? And that makes me think of George Bush Sr., right? And that I know y'all have seen the clip where he openly talks about the New World Order, right? All the things that they've been doing, that America has been doing, that the elite of Esau Edom have been, the moves that they've been making. It's all been these are all steps in the ultimate, goal, which is the MOTB. But it says right here, continually are they gathered together for war. You got them a lot.
Kyle, you want to get a 3 and 4?
Ooh, man.
Or just 1 and 2?
Man. Matter of fact, yeah, we can get can we get 3? Yeah, we can get 3.
Kyle, I got you with 3. This is Psalms 140 and verse 3. They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Adder's poison is under their lips. It's a lie.
Yep. And like the elders say, Esau's tongue, can go into his decrees, right? His orders, right? And like we're reading in the article, over the process of time, ultimately we know the Constitution, they don't abide by the damn Constitution. The Constitution was done away with, right? But they play the game, right, anyway. And they make particular, amendments and things in the Constitution so that they're justified either way it goes, right? Because even if these low-level Joe Blow Edomites wanted to bring up charges or go to court with these devils, they wouldn't win because they've been passing amendments this whole time. They've been sharpening their tongues the whole time. You got them a lot.
Real quick, before we do jump on, like a real quick point, Shah.
Bible
Also, what goes with that is that Revelation. It says, and he spake as a dragon, because like basically this Esau is the same guy who back when he was during the time period of the Grecians forced all the heathen and everybody to be Hellenized, and he's doing the exact same thing now. He's forcing everybody to conform to his NWO because all these people are bound by Esau with these pacts and these different things. And then it also it's in Psalms as well. It says that basically his words are smoother than butter, but war is in his heart. Loosely paraphrasing, because like basically he makes everything seem as if it's good, but that's how he works in deceit. He basically is stabbing you in the back, but he brings it to you in a deceitful way, so you think that he's on your side, but he's not.
Come on, bro.
Kind of has something real quick. This Sirach 12 and 10 says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness." And just going off the Constitution, right? Like Jacob run quick to the Constitution, but it's the same document that tells you that you less than a full human being. Thinking that this man cares for you, thinking that he's going to offer you some type of shelter when this place has never been for you. But that's who our people, continue to run toward, for peace instead of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And that's why they deserve the punishment that's coming.
Yep. Jake could get pulled over by the cops. Jake, 2023, Jake could get pulled over by the cops, start quoting the Constitution. Like, Constitution don't say that you fucking 3/5 of a damn human. But that's Jake for you, man. That's Jake for you, bro. Think he doing some shit.
Yeah. Nigga, Section 40, 800. Man.
man. That's it, bro. That's it.
Tripping. Let me see. I'm gonna get back to this article. It says every yeah, I read that. It says increasingly the government wants us to buy into the fiction that its war on illegal immigrants is so necessary for national security that we should be grateful when roving bands of Border Patrol agents flexing their muscle far beyond the nation's border exercise their rights to disregard the Constitution at every turn. Except these Border Patrol cops aren't just disregarding the Constitution, they are trampling all over the Constitution, especially the Fourth Amendment, which prohibits the government from carrying out egregious, warrantless, searchless, and seizures without probable cause. As part of the government's so-called crackdown on illegal immigration, drugs, and trafficking, Border Patrol cops are expanding their reach, roaming farther afield and subjecting greater numbers of Americans to warrantless searches, ID checkpoints, transportation checks, and even surveillance on private property far beyond the boundaries of borderlands. So that so-called border, once a thin borderline, is now an even thickened band spreading deeper and deeper inside the country. Consequently, nearly 66% of Americans, or 2/3 of the U.S. population, or 197.4 million people now, live within a 100-mile deep Constitution free zone. You can read about this. There's a link. It says, as journalist Todd Miller explains, that expanding border region now extends 100. I'm gonna skip all this. See if there's any more meat. Okay, I guess this is some examples. For instance, if you're driving a vehicle that to a border cop looks unusual in some way, you can be stopped. If your passenger looks dirty or unusual, you can be stopped. If your passengers avoid looking at a cop, you can be stopped. You know, this is the rights taken away from you Americans. That's why you Americans are so fucking stupid, man. You know, your country is slipping out of your hands, and y'all are yet to do anything about it. You know, us men of the Lord, we don't, you know, we just sitting back and watching the show. But you people, you know, you'll wear American t-shirt to celebrate 4th of July. Yet you need, you know, a license to do everything. You can still get your car towed. You still, you know, using this fiat currency, and you've yet to revolt, yet to get up off your ass.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's it. Khan, could you pulled up Slovakia if you weren't done? Slovakia.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It just goes into some examples.
Khan, I was just gonna say real quick if we could pull up Revelations 12, right? 2 horns like a lamb and spake as a dragon. Because like you're saying, bro, the reality of it is these Americans have bought into the idea of American politics, right? And American politics stem all the way back to the establishment of the Constitution. You know, the so-called Democrats and Republicans, right? Little do they know, though, that both parties are just two wings, you know, of the same bird, right? They're being controlled by the same group of people. So either way you cut it or slice it, right? Even so-called Republicans, the head of the Republican Party, they are all right. They're in the club, right? They're in the club, and just because when you go, when you on YouTube and you know a lot of these Edomites love talking about the left, all right, and like the deep state, right, the Democratic Party and they really don't understand what the hell is going on. No, the scriptures say the earth has been given unto the hand of the wicked, right? The scriptures don't say the earth was given into the hand of the Democratic Party. It's not what it says. It says it was given in the hand of the wicked, right? Esau Edom has a firm grip over the planet Earth, and it's not just the damn Democratic Party, but really it's the spirit, because these people they really believe in the Constitution. They really believe that there is still some hope, and that's what that's going to lead to Isaiah 19:19, and we can get that next. But you got it, bro.
This Revelation chapter 13, verse 11, it says, "And I beheld another beast coming up from the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon."
Right, and that beast, right, is talking about in this verse is talking about Babylon the Great, right, which is a derivative, if you will, of the British Empire, right? Scriptures talk about the mother that bare you. I believe that's in Jeremiah 50 or 51, right? When you go into the history, America was a derivative of the British Empire, right, in the form of 13 colonies, right? And from there you had the Declaration of Independence, right? You had the War of Independence between the 13 colonies and Britain, all right, and then ultimately upon the establishing of America, you had the Constitution, right, and the establishment of the two political parties, the main two political parties, which nowadays are termed the Republicans and the Democrats, right? But that we know that that also proves that this is Rome all over again, because in ancient Rome you had the plebeians and the patricians, right? So this is talking about the two-party political system, the red and the blue, which that's a whole nother rabbit hole because that's spiritual, But the point being, all right, it's a dragon. It's that draconian law that's really, governing the entire thing behind the scenes, right? And what these Edomites are beginning to understand and get mad about is that everything that they believed in America, right? Everything that they believed was a lie. All right, they've been living a lie. And what's happening with this border crisis, all right, what's happening, with it's not even just the border crisis. What we have, particular things happening, like in the financial world, right? Like, minorities and things of that nature receiving, better interest rates on, houses and things of that nature, right? Student loan debt, being, basically forgiven. There's all these little shots and all these little things that Esau Edom has been doing that are pissing off these low blow Edomites, right? And what it's doing is it's causing more and more anger, amongst the people. And the reason that this is happening is so that it fulfilled prophecy, right? Isaiah 19:19, right? Egyptian versus Egyptian, and all this built up, pent up anger that these Edomites have. Guess who they finna take it out on? They finna take it out on you 2/3 niggas, man. You got them a lot. You have something?
I just was scanning this article, and it's a little bit more. It's like 2 paragraphs. It's a good period on things. It's it says, now you have Joe Biden sending thousands of active duty troops to the southern border in order to deal with what they anticipate could be more than 100,000 or 10,000 illegal crossings per day. Is state of affairs perfectly timed to stir up, divide, and distract the populace while expanding the reach of the police state under our noses. It says, once the government acquires and uses additional powers to spy on its citizens, to carry out surveillance, to transform its police forces into extensions of the police, to seize taxpayer funds, to wage endless wars, to censor and silence dissidents, to identify potential troublemakers, to detain citizens without due process. It does not voluntarily relinquish them. It's time we the people, quote, put our houses in order.
Yep. That's it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Salaki, could you read read the last paragraph again?
Yep. It says, once the government acquires and uses additional powers to spy on its citizens, to carry out surveillance, to transform its police forces into extensions of the police, to seize taxpayer funds, to wage endless wars, to censor and silence dissidents, to identify potential troublemakers, to detain citizens without due process, it does not voluntarily relinquish them.
Man, and if I can just add, bro, that's the important point right there, right? It's talking about spying on citizens, censoring, right, and silencing dissidents, right? Because one of the articles that we had on deck was going into that TikTok ban, right? But again, man, that's the thing. That's why understanding prophecy is so important. Understanding these scriptures, because scriptures allow you to see through all the bullshit, right? When you go into TikTok, when you go into China, right? And Elder Ariala, goes into this in his algorithms a lot. China is owned. China is owned by Esau. Owns China, right? Esau invested in China. China would not be what it was without the British, without them investing, in China and making it what it is. So all these companies, because TikTok is a Chinese company, right? If they're banning TikTok, okay, if they're banning TikTok, why the hell aren't they banning Facebook? Why aren't they banning Instagram? All these social networks are spying on you, right? All these social networks are really just extensions of a central intelligence agency, of the CIA and the FBI. So why are they picking out TikTok and acting as if TikTok is doing anything different than all the other ones are doing? They're doing that because it's smoke and mirrors, right? World War III has to take place, right? And what they're getting ready to do is demonize China, even though Esau Edom is the one that controls China. But luckily we have, the apostles and elders, we have the understanding of these scriptures, right, that let us know that Esau Edom is at the head of all this. Anyway, he controls both sides, you know. So it's really just all a game, man. It's all a sick game. Okay, and the end goal is the MOTB. That's what's important. You know, you got it.
Kind of this. Let's see. Um, it says, just look at the mess we are in now. Just look at the mess we're in right now. Political theatrics that keep the populace distracted while the police state clamps down, an economy that is disintegrating before our eyes, a surveillance state that is gearing up for total control, an aging national infrastructure that is falling apart, and an appalling lack of leaders with moral backbones and civic, I think it's supposed to be civil knowledge, and a government that grows more authoritarian with every passing day. The looming problem is not so much that the U.S. is being invaded by hostile forces at the border, but rather that the U.S. Constitution is under assault from within by a power-hungry cabal at the highest levels of power. Then he promotes his book.
Done. That's it, man. That's it. And Baba Shah, just for edification, could you look up that word cabal? I never looked up that word before. I'm curious.
it says mystical interpretation of Old Testament letter, intriguing society, a small group meeting privately. Um,
A small group meeting privately. That's scripture, right? That's that hidden counsel. You know, scripture talk about what hide me from this secret counsel or the hidden. Look how that scripture goes.
hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked.
The
Isaiah
secret
4
counsel of the wicked. Yep.
64, I think. Let me see.
Yep. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, the cabal. Right. And that's the spirit because Esau Edom is just now waking up to this. These inhabitants of the planet Earth are just now waking up to these things when the scriptures have had these things written from thousands and thousands of years ago. All right.
Yep. This Psalms 64 and 2, it says, I'm gonna start at verse 1. It says, hear my voice, O Yahweh, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
Yep. The cabal. Baba
Mhm.
Kashak, could you read down the NLT?
Yep. Let me see. It says, verse 1, O Yahweh, listen to my complaint. Protect my life from my enemy's threats. Hide me from the plots of this evil mob, from this gang of wrongdoers.
Hide me from the plots of this evil mob. Man, you can't make it up, bro. You can't make it up. That's exactly what we have taking place on the planet Earth, right? And the only people that are really at that table is the head of Esau Edom, the elites of Esau Edom, right? Even the other nations that have joined hand in hand with him, they really not even at the inner table. They're not in the inner circle. Right? They're at the UN meetings and they're at these, other particular councils and think tanks. But at the head of this, at the head is Esau Edom. No matter how you cut it or slice it. But I don't have, we've been going an hour and 7. So if y'all have anything, we can close with that. But I don't have anything else.
I mean, we probably just wrap it up with the Second Ezra 15
Gone.
real quick. I got it pulled up. Let's see. This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 15. And I'll start at verse 15, and it reads, For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. And that's basically all this propaganda that's going on in the world is going to lead to people having violent uprisings, insurrections, and all that, man. Like Esau is pissed off about a lot of stuff happening. And it's going to be all types of things. It's going to lead to Esau having an excuse to come and just bring his military. And, he's creating this chaos so he can bring his military and just set things in order, which is going to go into. This verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and in the course of their action shall stand in their power. So basically, people are going to lose all this so-called more moral, like, type of ethicals and stuff is going to be gone out the window. These people are going to go ham. Everybody's going to go ham, and Esau's going to have an excuse to just start laying people out, throwing people in film camps and all that, because Esau's going to be able to basically do what he really wants to do in the first place. Use that sword.
Yep.
This verse 17, it says, a man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able. So that's what's getting ready to happen, martial law. And that's going to be Esau's so-called solution to all this chaos that he's ultimately creating. It's going to be him just bringing in his control. And ultimately, the full so-called salvation is going to be the MOTB. But all these things are like little dominoes or little baby steps that's leading on to it. But ultimately, the solution is going to be his MOTB. You basically take that all, and say you're that's gonna be like your salvation, your deliverance. But at the end of the day, we understand that it's all deceit, and all these people that are gonna perish that do decide to bow down to Esau Edom versus the Heavenly Father.
Okay. That's it, bro. That's it.
Hey man, this is all lining up because I talked about this, I think, like the last time we was at class, like how Esau had been planning like a couple years ago to solve the immigration problem by putting that implant in migrants so that they can get their citizenship. But also you got a lot of them coming over here. I was watching Redacted earlier, and they got all these kind of diseases trying to come to America for quote unquote the healthcare, the better doctors and whatever, with tuberculosis, you know. So he's intermixing these the financial problems with the healthcare problem, with the tracking and sensor ID, knowing who people are problem, all that. All that is entangled into one. So, he coming with that solution.
Yep.
Like the lesson titled, that order, right? With the chaos going on. So chaos from all angles.
Yep. Gone. That's it.
Yep.
Y'all had anything else?
Yeah, I had some real quick.
Gone.
This Isaiah chapter 28, verse 15, it says, because ye have said we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation as stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth on me shall not make haste. Right, and that's what these other camps, they believe in this system. They want to, cash out when that new system arises. Got these offshore bank accounts. Jake probably, it's no telling what they got. But our foundation is in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. It says, judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet. And the hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the water shall overflow the hiding place. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled. Pretty much, that agreement that these niggas made to sow it out, got the bag, to not present unto the people, to warn the people, it's gonna be crossed out, man.
Yep. That's that transaction. That's that transaction, man. These guys have made deals, man. What do you think the 501c3 is, man? It's a deal. It's a covenant with death. Right? And if they made a covenant with death while everything was peachy, while everything was good, what the hell do you think these people are gonna do when shit gets tough out here? They already made a deal. But Jake is not even thinking, man. Jake's not thinking. You got it, bro.
And real quick, real fast before you do continue, it made me think of the point the elder apostle Rakal was saying. Like they'll say, like basically, really anybody that's not serving the Lord is a sellout, because like you're following Satan in some way, shape, or form. You're being adverse, and ultimately that's you're basically in allegiance. Like if you're not fighting for Yahweh's kingdom or vouching for the kingdom to be set up, you're ultimately in league with Esau Edom, which he's coming in the spirit of Satan. So basically, all these people that's not vouch or not going for the kingdom to be set up for Yahweh's kingdom, not against this place, you're ultimately in that covenant as well.
Yep. Man. Yep, it says, and your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing sword shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by it. From the time that it goeth forth shall take you, for morning by morning shall it pass over, by day and by night it shall be vexation, only to understand the report. Right? Pretty much, you ain't going, when that time comes to where the Lord really start judging, you ain't going, it ain't gonna pass over you, and it ain't gonna be quick, man. It ain't gonna be like, oh, you just got, put down in a merciful way. It's gonna, you gonna feel that hoe. It says verse 20 is the last verse. It says, for the bed is shorter then a man can stretch himself on it, and the covering narrower than that he can wrap himself in it. Right. And I brought this out to get to that point. Right. You made this deal. You sold out, whatever. And, that bed is too short. I know y'all brothers probably seen the memes of where, when your friend don't have no more covers and he, it's time to go to sleep and the nigga got the pizza box over him, you ain't gonna find comfort, man. The air blasting. You made a deal with this man, but at the end of the day, you're not gonna find comfort. When you go to lay down, it ain't gonna be, you're gonna be sleeping in a bed that's too small for your ass. Or you're gonna have a cover that ain't really big enough. Right? You ain't gonna be protected. And when them lights go out,
Yep. That's it. Fine, bro. Scriptures say, buy the truth and sell it not. Right? Buy the truth and sell it not, man. And matter of fact, bro, we'll finish with this. If y'all don't have anything, if you pull up Proverbs 23 and 23 and click on that word sell.
Yep. This is Makar. It says, or Makara, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It says to sell, to be sold, to be given over to death.
To be given over to death. Right? The scriptures tell us, buy the truth. Right? What does that mean? Right? That means that you buy into the message, all right, that you've heard. You believe on the gospel. All right. But guess what? That's not the only thing that's supposed to be done when you hear this message. All right. When you hear this message, it says, buy the truth and sell it not. Right. So you're not to give over, yourself to death. You're not supposed to make a covenant with death. And that's exactly what these guys have done. And they've taken this truth, all right, and they've turned it into merchandise, right, to fulfill their own belly, to fulfill their own lust. All right. And what it's done is it's diluted the message. All right. It's diluted, the ministry itself. And what we see now is these guys pining away and waxing worse and worse. Because like when you go into the history, because the apostles, and the elders have been, giving us the history, of all these guys and, how it was back in One West. Ultimately, all these guys were under one umbrella back then. At one point they were all bought into the truth. But what happened? Some guys bought the truth, all right, and sold it not. They hearkened unto this scripture through the spirit, right? And others didn't hearken unto the scripture. They began selling this truth. They began making it merchandise, right? They made a deal with Esau, Edom, to not teach the names, to not warn the people about Jacob's trouble, about the MOTB. Right? But guess what? We're getting ready to see the results of that. Right? We're getting ready to see the effect, if you will. Right? Because every cause has an effect. Right? So, the chaos, right, is going to make all these things manifest. We're going to see who truly, Yahweh Shem Shai is dealing with and who he's with. But that's the point. Did y'all have anything else?
No, that's it. That's
No,
it.
I ain't had nothing.
Con. Well, the water to you, brothers, man. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. With that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Makakwadash. Shalom to you, brothers, until, the next lesson. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.